Hello, everyone. It is Mo from Mo in the Deep End on my new camera. As promised, for once, I did something on a weekend. Don't get too excited because I still don't understand lighting to save my life. Dennis Heaton, I am so glad you're feeling better. This is awesome. I hope you can hear me because now my new camera has its own microphone and I'm pretty sure I put it on the right one. But as you know, I am only as technical as I pretend to be, which is not. Good morning, Eris. Thank you for being you, first of all, and thank you for all the Modly Mod stuff that you do. Veilhammer, I am sorry that you have to deal with the real world, which is terrible. And Cool Gamer, good morning. Let me see if I can do this. Ta-da! So, I have new stuff to show you. I was supposed to do this but the youngest, most feral saw a package and decided to open it. So I got new petty patches from crap. I'm going to have to remember the company and then I will put it in the description. But the first one is The Suffering Continues and seems to be getting worse, which, lovely. So I'll be wearing that when I do the news. Uh, have the Day You Deserve, which I find Friberto, I know mom was having not a great week, and a self-portrait, which I find as a, firm believer in dumpster fires, a great one to wear, get off your high horse, and brutally self-aware. So I will have all sorts of petty patches to wear and take off as I am. Friberto, I love you so very much, but I do not feel like getting bitten. My left arm, or my right arm, looks like I engage in cage fighting with razor wire, so how about not? Let me look up the company real quick because my brain is pickled as per usual with names, though this never used to be the problem. Let me see. Ta-da! And the name of the company is Retrograde Supply Company. So I will add that. I think they were about so I got 3 for 18 and then they added 2 mystery for I think like $30. So, and free shipping. They're actually fairly good quality. It seems like they have the iron on if you wanted to do. I'm going to make pins obviously, but if you would like to, there are several more that I need to buy, like i.e. read all read all in comments. Okay, Fribert, I love you very, very much. But as I said, my arm looks like I have a look, I had to tell my new pain doctor. They're like, do you need to talk to someone? I'm like, no, let me show you my dumpster puppy. And said puppy is going to get one of those shame posts here very soon because I was not having a great weekend, but I figured out this camera with the help of Mr. Mo, and I was so proud of myself. I got myself a good carnivore dinner, even though everyone was having bad for them stuff. Put it on my bed, which he has since not been able to get on. Went to the restroom, came out as Mr. Mo is taking children everywhere, taking over mom taxi stuff, and Dumpster Puppy is very proud of himself for eating all of mom's dinner, which was like a 4-ounce steak cut up in 30 seconds. And him was so very proud of himself. Yes, when he is bad, he is called Dumpster Puppy because he loves to eat out of the trash can. Look. As the lead defense attorney on the Crumbly case said, I'm sure if anyone were to look at my text messages just about old Friberto, I would be in jail too. But welcome, let me see. Welcome Jude, welcome Greedy Bloke, welcome Will Call Magic, and everyone. So our first story, I was very, very concerned about this because as a mother of boy children and even girl children, nasal archaeology is a big thing that you have to tell your children constantly. I will say more boy children, to be honest. to not do in public, to not do one of these things, which has to be the grossest thing in my motherly estimation of all times. This deal right here, I had to do Sunday school one day and I was like, nope, nope, someone tested Jesus in me. Sweetie, I'm gonna need you to rub this hand sanitizer just everywhere, okay? Just, I'm gonna need you to anoint yourself with this. But apparently, other than just being plain gross, nose picking lightly, quote unquote, partially to blame for Alzheimer's disease, scientists say. Good morning, Slinky. You know, having watched it again, Slinky, and I think my opinion has changed since I was watching it live, and I think I was really, really anxious for her. Uh, a lot about the time crunch because of what David and oh gosh, Runkle and other people had said about the Friday, uh, time crunch. I was really, really worried with how long she was going. I agreed with absolutely everything she said, but I was really, really worried that she was going so late and the jurors were going to get it on a Friday. And regardless of everything that she was saying, minus the TikTok things, I mean, I think one joke would have been fine, but she kept coming back to it. And I don't know. That was my only criticism, is that I think I was more judgmental of her closing then because I was really worried that we were coming up to that time crunch. But I think as a mom, she really captured, especially dealing with a teen girl this weekend and all that fun drama. Just the how many times you feel like you have 873 juggling balls in the air and you have to also be kind and wonderful while you do it, but in a less ridiculous, preachy, horrifying way than the Barbie movie. But let's learn about Alzheimer's and picking your nose. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your pathogens. A review of dozens of published studies into the mechanisms behind neurological diseases has collected strong evidence that people who frequently pick their noses are at higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. The new report, compiled by and written by researchers at Western Sydney University, was published in the journal Biomolecules late last year. Quote, neuroinflammation in Alzheimer's disease may be partially caused by viral, bacterial, and fungal pathogens entering the brain through the nose and olfactory system, they wrote in the report. Chronic nose picking, medically known as rhinotoxomania, introduces germs into sensitive nasal cavity that can cause inflammation in the brain. Well, so can having cavities that you don't take care of because you don't have dental insurance. I mean, so are having abscesses. But okay, I mean, hey, if I can yell it to my children who are engaged in, I swear to goodness, like triple knuckle nasal archaeology, I'll be fine with it. I'll use it, y'all. I will use it. Over 6 million people are living with the neurodegenerative disease, predominantly affecting those age 65 or older. Scientists still aren't precisely sure what causes Alzheimer's disease, but the brains of patients, they observed a buildup of the protein called tau, which is associated with the body's immune response. When immune cells are triggered by invasions too frequently, researchers believe that stresses the body and forms inflammation that can lead to various diseases. Authors of the latest report show support for this theory, suggesting that shifts in the nasal environment caused by overgrowth of germs could be the source of chronic mild brain infections. Well, that would explain all of last year, collectively. Just saying. Uh, allegedly. Such infections can exist seemingly without symptoms on the outside, but may cause inflammation below the surface, leaving behind harmful plaques of protein that contribute to the development of neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's. A variety of common pathogens have been found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's. So, what they're alleging is that the nasal cavity beats the blood-brain barrier, so don't pick your nose. There you go, y'all. Just don't pick your nose. What your mom told you is right. You're gonna cause brain damage. Just listen to your mom, dang it. In Poetic Justice, which I love, a junior high principal was fired after he was caught pouring more coffee than he paid for. This is such a petty, petty thing, and you know I'm here for it. A junior high principal in Japan was dismissed from his job on Tuesday after he was caught dispensing more coffee than he paid for at a convenience store, local media reported. The 59-year-old male, who wasn't named, said he'd been pouring himself a large coffee during his lunch breaks, even though he'd paid for the regular-sized option, local broadcaster Yamori TV reported. Y'all, I would just like to take a moment to point out crime, at least of the allegedly non-Yakuza kind, is so freaking low in Japan that their front page news is now principal guy pays for a medium, gets a jumbo size. Not looking up how to move to Japan because they have a Sailor Moon store, because I would be broke. He said he realized in June that store staff didn't notice when he dispensed a $1.25 coffee at the self-serve machine while paying for a 75-cent cup, the outlet reported, citing Hongo Prefecture's Board of Education. The principal said he poured himself extra coffee 7 times throughout the year until he was caught in December by a store clerk who called the police in the city of Sagao. Yamori TV reported. The coffee caper has led to the principal's disciplinary dismissal, according to the Board of Education. Oh my God, could you imagine if we even halfway covered ethics like this? Holy fazolies. The super mayor that Nate the lawyer covers. That woman would be well, she'd have some issues, I think. Now, on to comedy, allegedly. Allegedly. Now, I am not a comedian per se. I just simply, faff about on the internet and play with wigs and generally mess with, Friberto. But Shane Gillis, if you do not bring out a giant poster of Norm Macdonald and then lovingly double, Bird, the guy who, fired you, Lorne Mitchells, for being offensive, and basically mic drop and say, hey, looks like we're doing okay after being fired from you. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald, and just walk off. Then you're missing an opportunity to really, really screw Lorne Mitchells, who screwed over Norm Macdonald. And I think that would be awesome. But again, you do you, sir. I am in no position other than a redhead who has an opinion and loves Norm Macdonald and hates what Saturday Night Live has become. Yes, well, he scratched it, so now I have to actually get some fishing wire and sew it back together. No, I understand, yes. Comedian Shane Gillis is set to host Saturday Night Live just 5 years after being fired from the late-night NBC sketch show. Gillis will host February 24th episode with musical guest 21 Savage. You know you're old when you have no idea who any of these musical guests are. You're like, not Taylor Swift and not NSYNC. The controversial comedian was announced as a cast member in 2019, but was fired before appearing in a single episode after he was heard using a slur in a since deleted 2018 video posted to YouTube channel Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Quote, after talking with Shane Gillis, we have decided that he will not be joining SNL, said a spokesperson at the time. We want SNL to have a variety of voices that all agree and points of view within the show. And we hired Shane on the strength of his talent as a comedian and his impressive audition for SNL. But we've stopped being funny, and we didn't think anyone noticed. The statement continued, the language he used is hurtful and offensive and unacceptable, and we're sorry we didn't see those clips earlier, and that our vetting process was not up to our standard. Gillis was originally announced as one of 3 new cast members for SNL season 45 cast, along with Bowen Wang, who was the first fully Asian and first gay Asian cast member. Well, congratulations. In the problematic videos that led to his firing, Gillis mocked a Chinese accents and used, slurs. At the time, Gillis responded to the videos saying, quote, I'm a comedian who pushes boundaries, and sometimes I miss. If you go through 10 years of my comedy, most of it bad, you're going to find a lot of bad misses. I'm happy to apologize to anyone who's actually offended by anything I've said. Yes, Squaw Bob, that would be when it was actually funny. Now it's, full of clapter, not laughter. Though I will say I did watch the little clip where they, for some reason, and God help us, put Nikki Haley in a skit. The guy, whoever they had doing Trump, actually got his accent, his mannerisms down pretty well, and it wasn't Alec Baldwin, so at least good for them. So again, Mr. McGillis, I think that, or not Mr. McGillis, I made you Irish. Mr. Gillis, I think you should go in full guns blazing. And I mean, double birds, take, a big old poo on them like Norm Macdonald would have, make all the jokes about how you're getting all the money and no one watches SNL, and I would poo on them live on air. But that's me, and I'm a petty person, and I would do things like that. So perhaps maybe don't. I don't know. Fry, regardless of the situation, where if you go to the other side, I'm still doing the news, Serberto. In other news, if you would like to have the sexiest accent, it is no longer French, apparently. You're speaking my language. The world's sexiest accent is revealed, and apparently it is no longer Marissa Tomei. I am very upset. No, I'm just kidding. It's getting the boot. French has been displaced by Italian, which is still a Romance language, so just learn Spanish, y'all. And you can pretend. I'm just kidding. I am joking. This is not. I give no languageology. Look, if you really want to get into someone's pants, you learn Elvish from Lord of the Rings, or Klingon, because those are instantly going to get. I'm just kidding. Don't listen to my advice on anything, y'all. French has been displaced by Italian as the world's most attractive language, the Daily Mail reports, citing a new survey from language learning platform Babbel. 6,000 people from the US, UK, France, Spain, Italy, and Germany were asked which languages were perceived as the most sexy and the most romantic and passionate, and Italian got the lead spot. There are certain characteristics of Italian that may contribute to its appeal. Funny, no one picked German. I can't imagine. Schnell, schnell. It's never the guttural English or Germanic language that they just never put Germanic. Texan, I will say a real deep Southern drawl is sometimes nice, but it can get taxing sometimes. It depends. Uh, Babel language teacher Noelle Wolf explained to the Daily Mail the rise and fall uh, of pitch in spoken Italian can create a musical quality, which some people find alluring and attractive, Wolf continued. Um, yeah, I can't imagine why Italian is really gaining speed, y'all. No idea. It can't be the boobage. She added certain phonetic features, such as rolling R sounds, can be distinctive in Italian, which to many are regarded as charming and attractive. Survey results show German won for most direct language and British English for most polite. The Post reached out to Babel reps for comment. The company's 2017 survey of over 15,000 people named French the sexiest accent and Italian number two. English people are drawn to the melody of a language such as French or Italian. Linguist Patty Andek, a professor of speech perception and production at University College London, noted at the time. In comparison, languages such as Thai or Mandarin can sound harsh because they are using tonal distinctions, she reasoned. It sounds very unnatural and unexpected. The latest survey comes as linguists say a new dialect known as Miami English is taking over South Florida. Popularized by Hispanic youth born in America, Miami English uses English words in Spanish forms. I mean, look, I'm not going to say that accents don't help. Look, Ricky Gervais on the face of all things, Ricky Gervais is not a number 10, but he has the accent and he's very witty. He could easily be an 11 to me, but I am more of a I fall in love with the brain of someone first. So I'm a weirdo. I had a crush on Alex Trebek because I thought he had all the answers at 11. I'm surprised that I'm even allowed like daily activities outside of, supervision some days. In what not to do to promote awareness, I don't know who cooked up this scheme. It didn't seem to work well, and I apologize up front if I butcher any of these names, because what in the actual heck? Indian actor faces backlash after faking death in what she says was an effort to raise awareness for cervical cancer. Indian actor Poonam Pandey is facing criticism after faking her death in what she said was an effort to raise awareness for cervical cancer. Y'all, get off your high horse. What in the actual hell is this? 2 days ago, a post was published on the actor's Instagram page announcing her death. This morning is a tough one for us, deeply saddened to inform you we've lost our beloved actress to cervical cancer. Every living form that came in contact with her was met with pure love and kindness. And this time of grief, we request for privacy while we remember her fondly for all that we've shared. Well, I was trying not to go with the obvious joke, but I was just like, I'm trying to be, because I can just see the comments. You are being totally Istan-phobic, and her name is not, a lady bit. And I'm like, ma'am, that was a soft pitch, and I can't even with this right now. I run a family show and crap. The supposed deceased Punani person reappeared on Instagram just like Yebus a couple days later. Help me, Yebus. And she's like, I am I died and then rose from the dead on Instagram 3 days later. I am the Instagram Jesus. What in the actual hell is this story I'm reading? I need to get the one that has the meteor just coming to Earth. What the hell is this? I need that patch. I'm alive, the actress said. I didn't die because of cervical cancer. And everyone was like, I just lit a fucking candle. Excuse my French, but we Catholics take that seriously. You have to buy it, damn it. Unfortunately, I can't say that about hundreds of thousands of women who lost their lives because of cervical cancer. It's not because they couldn't do anything about it, it's because they had no idea what to do about it. I'm here to tell you, unlike other cancers, cervical cancer is preventable. All you have to do is get your tests done, and you have to get the HPV vaccine. Fans criticized Popsicle's decision to fake her own death in the comments. Quote, worst PR stunt, you could have done a better way than highlighting such a sensitive topic for so many cancer patients. One commenter wrote, highly not appreciated. Worst awareness stunt ever. Y'all, have you met Rachel Dolezal? Because I'm just saying, I can see you one and raise you another. But this is pretty inventive. The actress defended Pretzel Stick's action. She said they were part of a campaign she started working on 4 months ago with an Indian marketing agency, Shebang. No, no, she doesn't shebang. She shablows, okay? This is a terrible idea. I don't know who... So who sits down like 5 people deep in a corporate room and is like, you know what? We've got an idea. We're going to bring out the whiteboard. Where's the whiteboard of truth? What we want you to do is die. And she just looks, oh, what? Not for real, but we're going to have you fake your own death. And everyone's like, you know, this is a great idea. Now, I've joked about it before, but I am willing to sell my consultants as a crabby asshole and tell you this is not going to work. Like, I will be that general curmudgeon that comes into your boardroom and says, I don't mean to ask this question rudely, but have y'all been huffing your own farts? And are you guys so high up into your own colon area that you don't realize this is the dumbest idea in the history of ideas? And look, I was alive when they tried to do, you know, when we tried to have all of the Ninja Turtles. Okay, we had Ninja Turtles with Vanilla Ice. Is this what you're presenting me? This is your best A game. And then proceed to just make them cry. I mean, I'm willing to do that. I don't think you want me to do that, but I'm willing to sell my services as an expert because someone needs to tell people that this is the dumbest idea ever in the history of dumbness. Well, so the neighbors directly behind us, he used to be a pilot, which there are legitimate reasons I don't fly. uh, but he now likes to just putter in his backyard. So Fry likes to keep tabs on him just to make sure he is still in his backyard because they have a herd of dachshunds, but with long hair. So he likes to make sure that the dachshunds stay in their own backyard. Now, in interesting idea, do not do this. Vigilante justice is not approved. We, despite living in clown world, do not live in, I think, 4. So they have a herd of dachshund. It's very strange to see them fight with grass to run across the field. I feel bad for wiener dogs. They have such short legs and such long bodies. It's just, it should never have happened. So despite the fact we live in clown world, you should just, we don't live in Gotham yet, so don't do this. Also, sir, I mean, I understand, but you also look like you may not be able to go very near schools either. So, pot, kettle, glass houses. Vigilante pretending to be a minor online lured child prawn convict into a fatal ambush, cops say. A man shot and unalived a victim, leaving his body in a ditch after pretending to be a minor online and luring him into an encounter, according to authorities out of Houston, Texas. I do believe certain ones can be trained to smell out certain types of cancer. I don't know if it's something that they inherently do, but I think if exposed to certain cancerous cells, dogs have been known to be able to be trained to take my words with all the grains of salt, though, because I believe I read something and or watched something, but I think I'm vaguely right. I don't know. Now, what I do question is the timeline of events. Now, if he targeted this person, but he just presented himself as a 15-year-old, and then the predator, okay, the decedent former predator, and this would be a lawyer question, started the graphic talk, would it still be luring him because you presented yourself as a minor? Now, that would be something you'd have to finaglate, because I don't know. James Lewis Spencer III, 22, was arrested Wednesday after officers spent months investigating a mysterious murder of Sean Connery Showers, 37, say local cops. Officers say they responded in the early morning of May 29th, 2023, regarding a man unresponsive on Northwood Street. Paramedics announced the man Showers dead. He had multiple freedom seed wounds, police said. Quote, an initial investigation determined Showers was walking along the roadway when a vehicle of an unknown make and model approached him, they wrote. Someone inside the vehicle then shot Showers. At the time, there was no known suspect description. The investigators continued the case. They now claim Spencer carried out the shooting. They arrested him on Wednesday without incident. He admitted to his role in the crime, they claim. Spencer had pretended to be a minor online, authorities said. Quote, Spencer and Showers were communicating using a social media app. Remen Merchant, the chief prosecutor for the 179th District Court, said a probable cause hearing on Thursday, according to the Houston outlet KRK. The communications were gross in nature. Officers believed that they were meeting up at the park to be gross. There were some communications on the phone or between the two about Showers' dealings in the past with children or underage individuals, Merchant said. The prosecutor called the unaliving a planned execution, and Spencer returned home acting like nothing happened. Cell phone evidence allegedly showed that the men had communicated, and records placed Spencer at the scene of the crime. Authorities reportedly claim that Spencer had previously told someone that he knew how to track offenders using an app on his phone. He allegedly wanted to rob and hurt them. He said that he would take matters into his own hands if cops did not, according to Houston affiliate KHOU. Federal records have shown that Showers was sentenced to 30 months in prison in 2009 for a case of possession of child grossness on the computer. He was reportedly required to register for life. In 2018, he was arrested after entering Bellaire High School during operating hours without telling the administrative office, according to Houston Fox affiliate KRIV. Showers was sentenced to 2 additional years in prison. So, again, this is what I'm worried about, guys. This is what I am very worried about. I am worried that you are seeing enough perceived or real police inaction, that we are going to have people start taking things into their own hands. And right now, as imperfect as it is, the justice system protects people like myself and people like the criminal from mob justice. Keeps me from doing it, allegedly, and them from being a victim of it, allegedly. Now, this might be a perfect case for jury nullification. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the more people feel like their justice system is tiered, that criminals get all the coddling, that victims get none of the justice, the more you are going to maybe see possible jury nullification or vigilante justice. It's going to get, I'm afraid things are going to get much more wild. And that's what I don't want. No, I'm not. Look, I, what I'm sad someone lost their lives. I again have firmly been on the stance, if this is a intrinsic part of your, now what they're trying to say, your sexuality, then you may go live in a same-sex, community all by yourself and stay the hell away from us, because you have proven that you are not safe with children and we cannot have you around us. I have no problem with you living your own thing all the way over there. You can have your own community. You can be safe from us. We will not target you. We will not touch you. But you try to come back over here, it's a no-go. It's a no-go. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But the problem is that you are pushing people like me, who tend to be live and let live. The more you coddle criminals, the more that you ignore victims, the more that we see this very, very tiered, very political justice system. What you are doing is pushing people to sympathy, compassion fatigue, and more like F it, purge fatigue. You are pushing people into a place that is not healthy. And you do not want to see that pendulum swing. And that is what I'm really worried about. I am really worried that, we are very close to a pendulum swing that people are not going to like, because the problem is that we were sold justice reform that I think anyone who is, like most of us, fairly in the middle, just wants to be left alone, let the government F off and leave us alone. Don't regulate us to death, don't tax us to death, don't get us in any shenanigans, just, protect us and leave us the hell alone, which is what your purview is supposed to be. Most of us in the middle would just like to be left alone and just let live. We couldn't do that. No, now we have to celebrate and understand everything, and we're getting a little tired of it because you keep squeezing us. There's gonna be a reaction. You're now reaching for people's children, and I'm telling you what, people, there's not a lot more. There are not things that people will do more for than their children. And regardless of whatever side you're on, people are getting very close to kind of full-on F-it mode, and I don't want that. I mean, it's kind of fun to laugh at absurd stuff, but this is more of what we're going to see if people feel like their local sheriffs, their, people that they put in place that we've given that social contract to protect us, aren't doing it. We'll do it ourselves. And then, jury nullification. I mean, this case is ripe for it, and I don't know if he's going to get it, but I can't imagine his defense doesn't try to bring in, the decedent's past crimes. I don't know. I see a very scary, slippery slope, and I know that's a fallacy. I didn't take debate club, but I know it is. Anywho, so let's go to the Gilgo, you know, Long Island. I love how TikTok has just amazed Gen Xers, or not Gen Zers. I have, what I really love though is that my family leaves me a sink full of dishes to make my life, you know, full of meaning. Dear sink full of dishes, thou art with me. Full is the dishwasher of clean dishes, never put away. Thou it is my chore, because I am the mom. Blessed are you among people that bitch about chores. It's a Monday, y'all. Alleged Gilgo Beach killer's wife may have been in town during murder, attorney says. Attorney for two Gilgo Beach families questioned whether accused killer Rex Heuermann's wife was in town longer than investigators think, saying she may have been around during one of the killings. Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney says that Herman's estranged wife, Alyssa Elrup, was out of town during each of the murders, but attorney John Ray questioned that conclusion Tuesday night during an event at St. John's University in Queens. Ray, who represents the families of Shannon Gilbert and Jessica Taylor, claims he spoke with an Atlantic City hotel manager who said Elrup and her children arrived in the spot later than investigators think, meaning they would have been in town during at least one of the murders. Elrup's attorney, Bob Macedino, denied Ray's claim, telling Fox News if Tierney was wrong about Elrup, the entire case against Heuermann would fall apart. Quote, when in the course of any investigation on any criminal matters do they do that up front in a bail application, he said. Quote, very, very rarely. If he's wrong, it creates reasonable doubt in this whole case. A former federal prosecutor with no ties to the case told Fox it would make no sense for the DA to make an argument he wasn't sure of. The DA's statement would be a potential problem if it were wrong, Nima Rahami told the outlet, but why would the DA argue something they were unsure of? Heuermann, 60, has been charged with the murders of the Gilgo 4 killings of 4 women whose remains were discovered on Gilgo Beach in 2010s-ish area. Now, this is his estranged wife. The bodies of Amber Lynn Costello, 27, Melissa Bartholome, 24, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, 25, and Megan Waterman were found wrapped in burlap on the beach within days of each other between December 2010 and April 2011. Heuermann, a New York City architect and married dad of 2, was arrested this past July in connection to the notorious case after he was linked to 3 of the women through DNA found on a discarded pizza. So we know all that. So the problem with that is if any part of that probable cause charging affidavit is wrong, then they can kind of do a Frank's motion like they were doing with the Delphi case and say, hey, one of the people lied and there is wrong stuff in this, and they can dismiss all the charges basically until they have to write another one, which looks a bit suspect. Now, I don't believe they would have made that big a mistake, but this case has been riddled with, all sorts of police shenanigans from the get-go with the original sheriff or chief of police in that general area having a federal investigation of his actions against someone who was trying to break into his Jeep and steal sex toys for reasons, being overly aggressive with him due to that and his worries that the feds were investigating his general station. He kind of stymied the investigation on this. So this case was handled terribly for the first several years. and really wasn't given a whole lot of attention until the last several years, where they really started building any sort of actual case against Rex Heuermann. So I don't think that they would have made this monumental mistake, but if they have evidence of it, it might be devastating for the case that they currently have against Rex Heuermann. So we will wait and see. In an update, a woman was arrested in the theft of the French bulldog that left the victim clinging to the hood of a car. Authorities have arrested a woman on suspicion of stealing a French bulldog in downtown Los Angeles last month in an incident that gained attention when onlookers filmed the victim clinging to the hood of the car as it sped away with her dog inside. Uh, police, ugh. Police arrested Sadie Slater, 21, of Los Angeles, in connection with the crime, according to a news release from Los Angeles Police Department. Onyx was not recovered as of Saturday afternoon, but detectives are still conducting interviews, police said. Ali Zacharias' heartbreak began January 18th when she was on a lunch break with Onyx at Whole Foods on Grand Avenue near 8th Street, she told The Times in an interview. Onlookers were watching as the 44-year-old interacted with her dog, a black and white speckled French bulldog, a little over a year old, with different colored eyes, the left one blue and the right one green. The next thing Zacharias knew, she said, a woman had picked up Onyx and was walking away with him. Interesting. Zacharias said she attempted to follow the woman into a car, a white Kia Forte that held 4 people, before being pushed out. That's when she stood in front of the car in an attempt to stop, then fell onto the hood as it drove forward, she said. She rode atop the hood for a short way before the car swerved, and she rolled off. She was bruised and cut, but not badly hurt, she said. The video of the ordeal was posted on Instagram and widely shared. French bulldogs are one of the most popular small breed dogs in the world, according to American Kennel Club, quote, especially among city dwellers. They're known for their square head, bat ears, and charming disposition. Expensive and in high demand, the dogs have been a favorite target of thieves in the recent years. In the LA area, who steals a dog? I mean, I don't even understand. 2 of Lady Gaga's French bulldogs were stolen in February 2021. Her dog Walker was shot and wounded during the heist. The woman who recovered them later sued, trying to claim the $500,000 reward, and was found to be involved in the dog napping. How are you involved and you get shot? That was Lady Gaga, who got her dog snapped, but apparently the dog walker was in on it. So then tried to claim the reward after being shot. It just doesn't seem like it's worth it. For the love of all that is holy Cheetos. More recently, thieves stole 12 purebred French bulldogs, including 10-month-old show dog named Roll X from a Gardenia pet shop. Slater was taken into custody Friday in Inglewood by members of LAPD Gang and Narcotics Division and U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, according to investigators. Oh my God. Y'all, can you imagine lockup? So what are you in for? Robbery? Quick Trip? Yeah, I stole all the cigarettes. What are you in here for? Carjacking? 87 of them, all Kias and Hyundais. Cool. What are you in here for? I took a French bulldog. The hell you? What do you? A dog? Holy fazolies. The world has gone nuts. In other animal news, in odd news, in our last story, if you have a snake, apparently you should not leave it near your car or leave any sort of objects near it. as a non-snake person. I have no idea why. But veterinarians in Maryland performed surgery on a rat snake to remove a gear shift knob the serpent had mistakenly swallowed. Sounds like a couple of my friends, but I'm not going to name names. No, just kidding. Ah. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. You know, again, I think you could have sold every single person on justice reform. No one wants a kid to lose their life to, petty crimes, but you start adding ridiculous, violent BS to this because you don't want jails overfilled or you don't want it to appear that a certain demographic is more affected because of life choices or what have you, instead of you want things to appear equal rather than go into the serious discussions. And unfortunately, the hard discussions about culture and life choices and decisions that people just make that are good and bad. So you start adding ridiculousness to bail and justice reform that just is injurious to normal people. Yeah, look, he goes directly to Snake Island. I am not a snake person. I understand they have utility. Look, it's the lack of legs. I'm sorry. The Second Chance Wildlife Center in Gaithersburg said the snake was brought in with an unknown foreign object in its stomach. This is common for rat snakes, as golf balls and decoy eggs are often mistaken for fresh chicken eggs, the center said in an Instagram post. In this case, the object that had been trapped in the snake's stomach for so long, there was a hole worn through the snake's skin. The object was surgically removed from inside the snake and identified as a gear shift knob from a car. The post said the snake had now made a full recovery and will be released in the spring. Well, there you go. I'm just I'm I'm just no snakes. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with no snakes. And then I did want to show you guys, let me see which camera I'm going to do. I got a Mr. So my baby rack for my wig was tipping, so Mr. Mo approved the expenditure of, and well, he approved looking up himself which wig rack would be okay. And then, we picked this one, so I actually got real hangers and everything. And he's like, "You're done now." And I was like, I was like, "Sure, honey, that's exactly what it is. I am done now. I have all the wigs that you know about." He's like, "You know what? I was not told about this when we were getting together. I had no idea you were a former theater nerd kid. Uh, I feel like I was sold it." I was like, "You're stuck with me, sweetie. Don't worry." Okay, Frybert, we know the real reason that people are here. And I should be done sewing his bed back together, so he'll be right back in with Pineapple Bed. He's like, "I don't like anyone. This Monday stinks. Mom has to sew my pillow bed because it's leaking stuffing, and He's like, "But I got her dinner. I was called a dumpster puppy." Sent Mr. Mo the picture. I was like, some dumpster puppy is very, very proud of himself because he was just wagging his tail. He was up on the bed. He was so proud. He's like, "I am here." Actually, it's a wig cap. I need to not put my bucket o' stuff on the bottom of that. I need to actually put it up on a shelf because that's where I hide all my fake glasses. These are actually real glasses, but all of my fake glasses. And Frybert, being a jerk face, is like, I I will continue to break glasses until my bed is fixed. So I'm working on his bed as soon as I get off of here and my pins and stuff. So I think I will be hopping on chat with Dave. I know they are doing, they might actually be on Verdict Watch right now. I am not sure. So I am redirecting you guys to Dave. I am not sure where they're at. I know that Baker might be starting a trial. Let's see. I'm not quite sure where everyone is, but I am redirecting you to Dave. I know they were. Oh, yeah. So I will be doing a couple updates because there are several things that are coming up uh, that I am trying new. So there are a couple new shows that I am working on that are in the works. I'm a real YouTuber now, even though I'm not making elephant toothpaste, much to the chagrin of all of my children. But I will be sending you guys to Dave. So have a wonderful day. Say something nice to yourself. Say something nice to others. Do not feed snakes anything. Do not involve yourself in vigilante justice. Try to remember Norm Macdonald and don't pick your nose. Try to wash your hands first at least and after. I don't know. Just don't pick your nose. It's gross. Have a great day, guys. I will see you in a little bit. Bye.